अच्छा सीबीएसई का नहीं है, सीबीएसई का नहीं है, नहीं था सीबीएसई नहीं था सीबीएसई। हाँ वो इसके बाद है हाँ किधर है इधर होगी आपको उधर होगी बात में अच्छा अच्छा ये दो लेक्चर हो गए हाँ 450 से 5 अभी 5 से 6 मिनट तो 10th सीबीएसई कितने बजे आते हैं 10th सीबीएसई 6:30 का हाँ जी वो रेगुलर 6:30 का टाइमिंग है 9 का जो आते हैं सीबीएसई का आईसीएसई वाले जल्दी आते 4:50 को बाकी ब्रांच में सीबीएसई पहले आता है आईसीएसई बाद में आता है हाँ यही कंफ्यूजन एक ऑनलाइन ग्रुप पर लिस्ट है बड़ी लिस्ट ऑनलाइन है अच्छा क्यों ठीक है how was your exam next result paper not good no hi Pernishta
Hello, ma'am.
what happened you
There was emergency, so I'm actually out of town. I'll be joining tomorrow.
okay I think agriculture first and second year we have completed. I don't remember. Last week, what was that? Last week, no. Before. First second so that was is over. Second lesson it drops then we have done. Yes, completed. Millets also, pulses also we have completed. Okay. Now I think agriculture 3. What is cash crops? Grown mainly for selling, for making money. We have learned there are certain crops which are grown for the needs of the family. This cannot be eaten. Many of that cash crops cannot be eaten. So it is mainly grown for selling purpose and it is grown on large scale. Means large area it is grown. Such crops are called cash crops. Cash crops can be of two categories. That is, there are certain cash crops which are food as well as that type, beverage and all. Fine. Okay. So, one of the cash crop which we have to study here is sugarcane. We know that sugarcane, as it is, we cannot use it. We are converting that sugarcane into various products. The same way, next cash crops included here is oil seeds. So oil seeds are basically used for the production of oil, different varieties of oil. That means for satisfying that food. That means for cooking medium. As well as there are some other. Yes, here. There are other oils like castor oil, eh, linseed oil. These all are not used for cooking purpose. They are used for that vehicle engine, machines and all, or for the production of varnish, paints and all. So they are not used for cooking purpose. So anyhow, there are certain oil seeds. These two categories we are going to study from this lesson. Okay, so cash crops. Cash crops are those crops. Am I audible, Vanishta?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay. So, two types we have seen. Cash crops means those crops which are grown for earning money. Means for selling purpose and getting money purpose. That is what the definition. How can you define cash crops? Is that what are cash crops? Cash crops are those that are primarily grown for sale and not for use by the grower and his family. Okay, this is how you have to define. Third one, agriculture third. Okay, so definition you underline, otherwise you have to write. Which one you will do? Write it. And let's see. Huh? But later part you have to write. Okay. Then the second one is that it is grown for selling. For selling. This is one. Second is that it is also grown for agro-based industries. Many of the cash crops are used in the agro-based industry. That is, we have to learn that lesson also. Agro-based industry. That means agricultural products are the raw materials for that industry. For example, sugarcane. One example, the sugarcane is the product of that agriculture, and this is sent to that industries to make sugar, khansari, and jaggery. Jaggery means gold. So these are the products. So these are working in agro-based industry. So 2 points you understood. Now let us see what are some of the examples of this one. And the first thing we have to study is sugarcane. Sugarcane, when we are taking, sugarcane produce, there are some products directly produced from sugarcane. They are sugar, wool, and khansari. These are the main products of sugarcane. Sugarcane juice, not so much we are using. No? We just hardly drink once in a while only. So, but for the main purpose of growing sugarcane is to produce. And when the processes are taking place, there are several byproducts we get. That byproducts are used for making some other things. So these byproducts are bagasse, and one more thing is there. Press mud. So these are getting when the processes are taking place. When sugarcane from the sugarcane sugar is produced, we get a molasses or bagasse like that. With that, some other uses are understood. So that is why it is called a byproducts. Got it? Now we are going to learn about the what type of crop it is. Sugarcane is, you just write this point. Main products are sugar, gold, Hansari. Byproducts. We have done.
We are on methods of
Methods of cultivating. Which one?
set or it's
That is methods only we are doing, no? Not completed. No? Okay. Yes. Clear? Climatic conditions and all you have learned. But market, so each crop of climatic conditions. See, when I am telling about it, that is selection of the chapters. Which chapters you have to select? Have you decided which chapters you have?
sorry.
The climate please don't take. It is very much confused. The board questions when it is coming, sometimes confusing type of question will come about that what type of that indirect question used to come.
But ma'am told that the single chapters are more easier to
That is what a single chapter. So a single chapter further it is coming. Transport is very much easier. It is very
it is also single.
single chapter. Okay. It is.
Yes.
Waste management both together you have. So that is also easy. Anything you can.
Natural utilization also single.
Yes.
Water resources,
Water resources also single.
these three.
These three will you avoid because you know you can take all four others together also you can. Then manufacturing industries, agro based and mineral based. That is also simple lessons. But my suggestion is that climate is a complicated list. Sometimes it's really good. Some parts are very easy.
Like numericals.
Numericals also you can get mark. What I am telling is about what type of rainfall is occurring. Indirectly, some questions asked. So, cyclone, Biparjoy, the El Nino effect, like that. So you will not get what those. Is you to mark going means that is those, no? So.
Ma'am told to do all the lessons because sometimes the
Yes.
lessons
Objective type questions and all. but-
sometimes which lessons they are which lessons they are going to attend might be more harder than the lessons we are not going to. Said to do all the lessons.
Lesson you do. I'm not telling that not to do it. But when we are selecting the lesson, it's your lesson, then score the lessons you easily you can score long. So that way you take. If you are taking agriculture lesson also, or for few questions only, it is not so complicated. The types of farming, once you study this, which are the type of crops that is today farming and all. Okay. So over then this cash crops, sugar cane and oilseeds, climatic condition, just the temperature thing. Understood. Then beverage crops, jute and cotton. This is only you have beverage crops, jute and cotton, no, tea and coffee, then jute and cotton. This will only to be studied. So if you are studying the complicated questions are not. And I am just observing that it was for the last 3 years. I find that children are making mistakes in this part, climate part. And another mistake they are committing is mineral. Mineral, where it was found, what is that? And that one, this like industries. Manufacturing industry, that is where it is located, from where that power supply, Tata is Vilai, Bhutila. So that little bit problem. So that we can avoid and the rest of the things. But you have to study all these things for cities and that chemicals. Okay. But if you want to score, you focus on this. That one lesson you can avoid is that.
Questions from climate will come in UCP.
Chance takers, every lesson, even mineral also the question get. Maximum 10 mark, no? So that is why you study it. But more focused study to be on these lessons which you can score. So some are writing everything in this form. So then afterwards they are confused and then cutting something. If you are focused on these all lessons and studying nicely, mark can be scored. Then last two, base management and all also is seen to score. Understood. Okay, what we will discussing is that methods of sugar cane. The first method is sowing method. What is sowing method? The seeds are sown for the growth of fresh plant. Okay, that is what the first method. Second method is set method. What is set method? Set method is that up part that the plant some parts are being cut and made into pieces and horizontally they plant, and from the joints new plant is growing. That is what a set method. What is set method? You can that one definition of set method. Cutting off 2 or 3 joints taken from the top of the healthy cane, planted horizontally at equidistant furrows and piled with fertilized soil. That all things, if it is not there also, the definition when it is given, you should understand what method. That is, from the top of the plant, that some pieces are being cut and planted horizontally or laid horizontally in the furrows. And from the joints, new planted or new shoots start coming. So that way, if the sugar cane is grown, that method is known as set method. Got it clearly? What is set method? Underline what set method is. You just write also instead of underlining, otherwise you will not remember. And the third method is ratoon. So there are three methods of planting sugarcane. The first one is sowing method, second is set method, and third is ratoon. Page 62. So ratoon is that, see, from the bottom part, that where that what is that sugar content is more. From that, a new plant is allowed to grow. That is, the plant is being cut and then made a way to grow new plants from that bottom. That is what a ratoon. See, what is that? It is a process by which the cane is cut close to the ground where the sugar content is concentrated. After the crop has been cut, the stem begins to grow again and produce a second called the ratoon. So you understood what is set method and what is ratoon method? So from the top, small pieces are being cut and planted horizontally in furrows. That is set method. Ratoon method is from the bottom, where the sugar content is more, that new shoots are allowed to grow. That is from the same plant which was already cut. So a method to grow or allowed to grow new plants from the bottom, that is from the ground part. This one is cut and new shoots are coming. That is called a ratoon method. Is it clear? Now what is that harvesting? See, when that plant started flowering, then only that is seeds used to come. So that time onwards, the harvesting will start. So we know that this is having a growth of about 10 to 18 months. So when the plant start flowering, it is the maturity time, and from there the harvesting start. The maximum concentration of sugar is at the base of the cane. Just now we have seen the bottom part is having maximum concentration of sugar. The cane is cut at the ground level with a machete. Machete means a curved knife. So it is not at all like that with the help of machine. The harvesting is not done with the help of machine. Mostly it is done by human beings, that is manual labor. They cut with a machete, that is rounded knife type, and this one is sent to that factory for crushing within 48 hours. Otherwise, what is the problem? The sucrose content will reduce. So within 48 hours, it has to be crushed. So that is what one of the, this is done as the juice start drying up and the quality deteriorates. The sugarcane juice is processed into jaggery, white sugar, and khansari. We have seen what are the products? Sugar, gur, or khansari. Gur, have you heard about the jaggery? Okay. Khansari, have you heard about the khadi shakate? That is white crystal, bigger. So that is what? These are the main products. Okay. Now, what else to be byproducts? I have told you molasses is one of the byproduct. What is it? It's a kind of dark brown syrup. Molasses is a dark brown syrup. This one is used for that alcohol type. That one beverage is made. It is also medicinal value also. Molasses is having. We'll see that one later. Okay, what is the value? Huh? Molasses is used for medicine. That is not exactly the juice. It is a kind of dark brown color material.
Or eating,
Eh?
eating.
Eating, no, that is, you know that alcohol is that kind of one beverage. From that only it is made. In the breweries, it is used. Next is that bagasse. Bagasse is what? That waste after the extraction. So, this after being crushed, is plowed into the soil to feed cattle and used as a fuel for mills. Underline what are the uses of it. One more use is that this bagasse is also used for making the paper, newsprint. Now press mud. Press mud is used to make wax, shoe polish, carbon paper, etc. That gur and kansari you just remove from that by mistake. Okay. Have you seen carbon paper? Carbon paper? No. See, if you want to make a copy of that paper which you are writing, under that one paper used to be kept. So the impression of what you are writing will come on that. That paper is called a carbon. Have you seen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Stores.
Okay. So this that is made from this press mud. Okay. Which are the major sugarcane producing areas? Satluj Ganga basin from Punjab to Bihar. Black soil area from Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu. Page 62. Coastal Andhra Pradesh and Krishna Valley. These are the major regions. But when we are taking this one major sugarcane producing state is UP. And afterwards, if you come, it is Maharashtra, then Tamil Nadu. So these are the sugarcane producing states. Okay, you can find in your textbook also. You once search which are the sugarcane producing states, not regions.
North India, South India, North Indian states such Bihar, Punjab, such as Bengal.
That is the region. State it is not mentioned.
Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Tamil Nadu is the largest producer.
South India. Okay.
And in North India, Gujarat, Bihar, Haryana, Punjab.
Sugarcane, Gujarat is also included. That black soil is. Okay. Distribution. Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Got it? Now let us move to the next part, oil seeds. Can you name some oil seeds? No? No, not heard about that. From that your oil is extracted. Sunflower, mustard.
Olive.
Olive is not in India. According to Indian climatic condition, it is not. Then there are so many. Groundnut is there, soybean is there, coconut is there. Okay, we have so many varieties of oil seeds. Palm, palm oil is produced. Okay, so there are certain oil seeds which are used for cooking purpose. Edible oil, that cooking purpose we are using, it is called a edible oil. Understood? So, oil seeds. Oil seeds are used as industrial raw material in the manufacture of paints, varnish, hydrogenated oil. What is hydrogenated oil? Vanaspati, have you heard about? Hydrogenated oil, soaps and lubricant. What is lubricant? In the vehicle, that the lubricant oil is. They are also used for producing edible oil, used for cooking purpose. Uses you have to mark it. Okay. Vegetable oils are produced from a large number of crops. The principal oil seeds grown in India are groundnut, zizana. What is zizana? You did not see that black color one seed is the teal. Teal, have you seen? जो लड्डू बनाता है ना तो चील गुड़ गाओ खाओ God बोलो करके that one festival is there no that Sankrant ka. So one teal is that black color or white color one seed is white is also there, black is also there. That is what a sizana. Okay. Then linseed, castor, soybean, sunflower, rapeseed or mustard. Okay, these are the different types of oil seeds. Now, what is the advantage of it? After extracting oil, the cake or the residue left can be given as cattle feed or used as manure. So it's very useful. See, we are extracting oil from it. After extracting oil, the things can be given as cattle feed. Cattle feed means that a cake like after extracting a cake like material we get it used to be soaked in water and along with the water it is very healthy food for cattle. So that way it can be given as cattle feed as well as manure. Now one by one we are going to learn about different oil seeds. You just read about the groundnut.
Groundnut, rabi crop in Odisha and southern states.
So it is rabi in Odisha and southern states, or it is growing in rabi season.
Kharif crop in other part.
Northern part it is growing in Kharif season.
Groundnut is also known as peanut or monkey nut. It is believed that groundnut was introduced in India from Brazil.
It was not an original home of groundnut. India is not an original home. It is believed to be brought from Brazil. So what are the other names of it? Peanut or monkey nut?
Climatic conditions, temperature 20 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius.
Please you just check that textbook also, temperature, rainfall and you also check that temperature. If it is different, you just try it with the pencil. Correct. Okay.
Rainfall 50 centimeter to 100 centimeter. Soil requirements dry, light and sandy soil, loamy, well-drained black soil.
So all the types of soil it is grown.
Uses used for manufacture of black soil hydrogenated oil.
You just the manufacture of hydrogenated oil, that black soil you just cancel by mistake, the printing mistake.
making margarine, medical emulsions, and soap. Groundnut oil is used as a cooking medium, oil cake as a cattle feed. The nuts are eaten raw, roasted, salted, or sweetened.
Have you ever eaten this one, groundnut? Raw also we can eat, roasted also we can eat, then salted and sweetened. Sweetened, what is that? Chicky. That is the sweetened form. So all the ways we can take.
Methods of cultivation, broadcasting and drilling, sowing, June, July, harvested in November, December.
So broadcasting method, we have seen rice is broadcasted. So that is one of the method when it is done June or July and harvesting by November, December.
Tamil Nadu, Feb, March, harvested in June, July.
So Tamil Nadu, we have seen that this one is grown South India. It is grown in this season, Rabi season. So by that time only, it is sown and it is harvested by June. That is why Kharif crop, other crop is growing at that time.
Harvesting and processing, the entire plant, including the roots, is removed from the soil. Groundnuts are dried and packed into sacks to be sent to mills or commercial establishments.
So entire plant is removed. Now what is that? Removed from the soil, then that the groundnut have to be dried and then packed and sent to the mills for that processing purpose.
Distribution, Gujarat, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu.
Major producer of groundnut is Gujarat. So sometimes you will get the question like that, a picture of that one will be given. You have to identify the crop and you, after identifying the climatic condition, temperature and rain, then which type of crop it is, which growing season, then it is the major producer. So groundnut major producer is Gujarat. Understood how the questions are coming?
Mustard, Rabi crop or mixed with wheat, gram, barley.
So it is a rabi crop, but it is not grown singly. That means it is not grown as a single crop. It is sometimes grow along with the wheat, gram, and barley. Understood? So together it will grow, but it is grown in a line so that harvesting will be easy. So mustard will be harvested first, then wheat will be harvested. So that way. So together, along with that, other rabi crops it is grown.
Mustard produces an important edible oil. It is used extensively in northern India as a cooking medium.
In North India, this did you like this one mustard oil in Hanaplana? Majority of the people did not like, but the North Indians prefer this oil for their cooking purpose. But other places also that people making and other type of things they are using. Because mustard oil is very healthy as well as good for the body. Because of that only North Indians prefer this type of oil. So other areas they use it, but it is not the main edible oil.
Climatic conditions, cool climate, temperature 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, rainfall 25 centimeter to 40 centimeter.
So climatic conditions also you have to learn. Underlining now all these points. Soil.
Alluvial, heavy loams to light. Methods of
So here we have seen the best soil suited for the growth of mustard is alluvial soil. That is variety, heavy, long to light. No. Do you know what is loamy soil?
It consists of clay, sand, and silt.
Clay, sand, and silt. That type of soil is called the loamy soil.
Methods of cultivation: mustard is grown with wheat, gram, barley in a row in the same climatic conditions. Harvesting and processing: it is harvested about 1 or 2 weeks before the main crop and collected the heads in the granary.
Heaps in the granary. So it will be cut and make the bundle and then heaps are stored. So then after 1 week, that wheat is to be harvested. That is why immediately nothing is done. After that wheat harvesting, this one will be separated. The seeds can be separated.
The seeds are separated by getting them trampled under the bullock's feet.
The seeds are separated by trampling under the bullock's feet. Means the bullocks were allowed to stamp it and the seeds will fall down. That is why few days it is kept for drying purpose, so that it will be falling properly.
Distribution: Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, and Haryana.
These are the major produce. Now you read soya.
Soya. Soya bean is cultivated as a kharif crop.
What type of crop is soya bean? Kharif crop. Because the mustard is a rabi crop. Groundnut both rabi and kharif. It is a rabi crop in Odisha and other states, South Indian state, whereas it is a kharif crop in North Indian state. So like that. So this one soya bean is purely kharif.
It is rich source of protein.
Mm.
Climatic conditions: temperature 13 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius. Rainfall 40 to 60 centimeters. Soil requirements: friable, loamy, acidic soils are best.
So it is not requiring very healthy soil or very fertile soil. So it can be grown in friable loamy, acidic soil. Acidic means red soil, laterite soil. Okay.
Methods of cultivation: the crop needs 3 or 4 irrigation during its growing period. Before sowing, its seeds are covered with chicory and ribosome.
Jaggery or jaggery, spellings. Jaggery and rhizobia. And it is a method to germinate. So before that, the seeds are covered with the wood and rhizobia. Then only it will be planted.
Harvesting and processing: it is harvested in the middle of October. Distribution: Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra.
They are the major producers. Now that these two things you can stick for 5 minutes afterwards we move to the next. Okay. Share also. Which one first you have to see? Sugar cane you want to see now. Set method. Not all.
वहाँ पे फर्स्ट नंबर ऊपर नहीं वो नहीं ऊपर वाला ऑप्शन 3 ऑप्शन वो नहीं ऊपर एकदम ऊपर हाँ
What is the seat?
Automatically now. I don't know.
क्या accident
Vanishta,
Yes, ma'am.
can you see the video?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I can see.
किया है और जो हमारे साथ किसान भाई जुड़े हुए हैं
Separated. Sugarcane is a long bamboo-like stem with several joints. New canes are usually planted and taken. This is called set. The cutting of the whole plant is then prepared, living in variation tree. Planting and rented. In this method, during the first harvest, the sugarcane is cut, leaving a little bit of the stalk in the solid weight roots. The stalks will also out more shoots or bristles. The second or any other successive crop obtained from the roots of the vegetable crop is called brittle. Sugarcane is a perennial crop, and the same plants could continue to produce canes for many years. But this is not done because the yield from each successive brittle crop is lesser than the previous one. After 2 or 3 rattles, the old roots are no longer economical and new sets must be planted.
were you born between 1980 to 2000? This Max Life is offering customized term insurance plan for you.
Peak production in sugarcane. Non-availability or limited availability of quality seed of improved sugarcane varieties to sugarcane growers is a huge drawback in improving the production and productivity levels in the country. Stem cuttings or stems are the seed used in commercial sugarcane planting. Each set may contain 1, 2, or 3 buds. Annually, about 10% of cane that is grown is utilized as seed material. The quality and quantity of the seed used determines the performance of the crop. Keeping all production conditions constant, only an improved sugarcane variety with good quality seed can increase cane yield to a considerable extent. The Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, has developed numerous excellent varieties of sugarcane in India. Since the release of its first hybrid cane, CO205, many of the popular sugarcane varieties have lost their yield potential. The phenomenon of such gradual loss of yield potential has been termed varietal deterioration or varietal degeneration or varietal decline, and may be attributed to several factors including disease, insects, drought, soil condition, salinity, waterlogging, and monocropping. Poor seed quality has been identified as a primary factor affecting varietal performance. Establishing seed nurseries adjacent to planting locations and producing quality sugarcane seed is the key to realizing potential productivity. Therefore, a three-tier nursery program is a must for every sugar factory in order to maintain a constant flow of good quality seed material of improved sugarcane varieties. Under the three-tier program, heat-treated sets are planted for multiplication as primary nursery seed, followed by secondary and commercial seed, from which healthy, disease-free seed materials are supplied to farmers for commercial planting. The three stages in the seed production process involve the primary, secondary, and commercial nursery. Each stage or tier takes a year for completion, after which the commercial seed cane is made available to the farmers. In the first stage, the seed cane of varieties received from research stations as breeder seed or belonging to a healthy crop of suitable age is used to raise the primary nursery. The seed cane is first subjected to heat treatment and treated with fungicide before being planted for production of primary seed. The nursery crop should be nurtured with good nursery management practices and meticulously monitored to maintain it free of mixtures, diseases, and pests. Normally, the primary nursery is raised in sugar mill farms. Harvesting is done at the age of 6 to 8 months. In older varieties with viral infection, tissue culture raised virus-free plants are preferred for raising the primary seed nursery. In the second stage, seed material collected from primary nursery or foundation seed is distributed to selected progressive farmers to raise secondary nursery. This is also maintained and monitored like the primary nursery to keep it free from diseases, pests, and mixtures. Harvesting of seed crop is taken up at the age of 6 to 8 months, and the seed material is distributed to farmers for raising commercial seed nursery. In the third stage, commercial nurseries are raised from the secondary nursery seed and are monitored likewise so that good quality seed is made available to farmers. Heat treatment will render it free from disease for about 5 years. Therefore, a well-planned scheme to replace seed once every 5 years must be devised. The whole operational area can be divided into 5 sectors, and one sector may be covered each year so that the seed is replaced with rejuvenated seed once in every 5 years. If all sugar mills in our country follow this 3-tier nursery program and provide good quality seed of improved varieties to farmers, the average yield per hectare can be raised by 10 to 15%. Good quality seed is to be ensured through seed cane following certain criteria. Its age at harvest should be 6 to 8 months and 8 to 10 months for sowing in the tropics and subtropics respectively. The seed cane material should be reasonably clean and undamaged. Each node of the seed cane should bear one sound bud, and the number of nodes without sound buds should not exceed 5% of the total number of buds per seed cane. Also, the number of buds which have swollen up or have projected beyond 1 centimeter from the rind surface should not exceed 5% of the total number of buds. There should be sufficient moisture in the sets, and in general, the moisture content should not fall below 65%. The seed material should be free from the incidence of pests and diseases. Generally, farmers take only the top 1/3 portion of the mature cane for preparation of sets. However, this is an undesirable practice, and it is advised that seed material be obtained from nursery crop between 6 to 8 months of age. Good seed should have more than 85% germination. For controlling diseases, the seed cane treatment before planting will be effective. Heat therapy involves heat treatment at a temperature that kills the set-borne pathogens and impairs their vital functions while causing no detriment to the sugar cane. Hot water, moist hot air, and aerated steam treatments have proved effective in eliminating set-borne infection of grassy shoot and ratoon stunting diseases. Hot water treatment consists of immersing sets in tanks containing hot water, treating them at a particular temperature for a specified duration. Two types of hot water treatments are currently being used. The long hot water treatment involves treatment at 50 degrees centigrade for 2 hours, while the short hot water treatment occurs at 52 degrees centigrade for 20 minutes. In the aerated steam treatment, the sets or vacuum cables are placed in trays and kept inside the chamber of the room. Steam and air are mixed together and passed inside the treatment chamber, and the sets are treated for 1 hour at 50 degrees centigrade.
First thing, इथे जो काही काय शिकवणार आहे ते पुढच्या 20-30 वर्ष डोक्यात ठेवून शिकवण्याचा जाणार आहे आणि ते मी एका सिरियसली घेऊन सुरू
This system is very effective against grassy shoot disease. At each stage of planting, it is essential that sets be treated with fungicidal solution to prevent the attack of soil-borne pathogens, particularly fungi. The sets required for 1 acre planting may be soaked for 5 to 10 minutes in 100 liters of water containing 50 grams carbon dioxide, 1 kg saturated lime, 1 kg urea, and 200 ml malathion. The fertilizer application for the nursery involves applying NPK at 275 is to 62.5 is to 113.5 kg. In this, phosphorus is applied as basal dose, and nitrogen and potash are applied in 3 equal splits along the rows in furrows and covered immediately and irrigated. 1 month before the harvest of the nursery cane, 50 kg nitrogen and 75 kg potassium can be applied as additional dose. This enables quality nursery cane with higher glucose levels that ensures good germination. Deep thrashing should be avoided in the nursery plots. Spaced transplanting technique is also important. For planting 1 hectare, a 50 square meter nursery plot can be selected 1 month in advance to plant. In this, single bud sets can be planted at 600 to 700 per square meters. 4 to 5 weeks after sowing the sets, the seedlings can be uprooted and transplanted in the main field at a spacing of 90 by 90 centimeters. Before transplanting, the roots of the seedlings should be dipped in a solution containing 0.1% carbon dioxide. Initially, 2 to 3 irrigations can be given at shorter intervals for quick and better establishment of the seedlings. Polybag seedling transplanting involves the use of polythene bags of size 6 by 4 feet with small holes made at the bottom for effective drain.
Understood what is it? But only from the bottom. It means, after completing the next list. Now we are moving to the next lesson. That is also cash crops only. Agriculture. This way you have done. You probably did not come now. This way is okay.
भाई तो घूर क्यों रहा था?
Yes, is coming.
Yes.
Huh? Ah, coming. वीडियो देखा था ना? अभी नहीं है, बाद में वीडियो चाहिए. So now we are going to study about the next type of cash crops. That is, what type of cash crops are there? Here, two types are there. One type is fiber. Second type of cash crops is beverage crops. Fiber crops are cotton and jute. Beverage crops, tea and coffee. Okay. These are the things which we are going to study. But these type of crops are grown on large areas. So they are called as plantation crops. Understood? What is plantation crop? We have learned in our first lesson. What is that? On large estate, a single crop is planted in rows. So these crops, when we are studying, these crops are plantation crops. On large plantations, one single crop is. Did you understand that introductory part? You just read about the cotton.
Cotton. Second in production area. Fourth in
Area of production, second. Okay, then.
fourth in production. Cotton is the most important fiber used in making clothing. China is the world's leading producer of cotton. 18.8 million bales in
1998 to 19.
Followed by USA. Climatic conditions. Cotton is a tropical crop and is raised in India's kharif crop.
So what type of crop is cotton? Tropical crop and kharif season it is growing.
Temperature 21 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius and at least 200 frost degrees.
This is very important when you are writing about the climate. What is that? It is a kharif crop. Temperature 21 to 30 degrees Celsius and 200 days of frost free. Frost is very dangerous for this crop. Did you know what is frost? Frost that if you open that freezer, that is small powdery crystal type you can see. That is what a frost. So sometimes winter season, some areas this kind of frost is there. This crop, frost is very harmful. So how many days of frost free days this crop need? 200 days. Rainfall.
Rainfall 50 centimeter to 75 centimeter well distributed during the period.
You just check that textbook. What is the sometimes some points can be missed. Temperature and rain. Correct, no?
Soil requirement, deep black soil, alluvial soil and laterite soil.
What is the other name for black soil? Rigors. Okay. And the best suited soil is black soil. That is why black cotton soil it is not. Okay. And it is grown in alluvial soil as well as laterite soil. Alluvial soil, the example is that Punjab. So that part also the cotton is grown. But climatically and that required conditions, if you see, the best suited place is South India, the Deccan Track region, Gujarat onwards. So, but nowadays it is grown even in Punjab. So that is why alluvial soil also good.
Methods of cultivation, the seeds are sown by broadcast method or by drills, 6 to 8 months. So
what is that? Seeds are sown or by broadcasting method or drilling method. Do you remember drilling method? Rice plantation is by drilling method. That is, small drills are attached to that. What is that? Plow-like machine, and the holes are made and seeds are dropped into.
Sowing is mostly done before the onset of the rain.
Onset of monsoon. We have seen that rainy season is the Kharif season. So before the onset itself, the seeds are sown. That is.
Harvesting and processing. The crop is harvested in October when the cotton crops ripen and burst into white, fluffy, and shiny balls of color.
So what is that? It is sown in the month of May. That is before the monsoon. And harvested by October. That is, fluffy balls used to come and that the outer bursting start bursting. That time it started harvesting. It's not harvested all together. How much is bursted into that fluffy balls are done? That much is harvested. Then the second layer, when it is ready, it will be harvested. Like that, at a stretch, no. When we study about rice, wheat, or any other crop, it is harvested at a time. Sugarcane also. So everything harvested together. But this cotton balls are not harvested like that. It is plucked as and how it is ready to. Okay. The crop is.
The crop is harvested in 3 to 4 pickings as the ball matures. After the harvesting, the cotton crop passes through the following process. Ginning is a process used to separate the fibers or lint from the cotton seeds or the short fibers or tendrils which adhere to them.
Ginning. The first process is ginning. Ginning is the process with the help of a spindler that seeds are separated from that cotton. The fluffy cotton is having that seeds also, that one line seeds. That like that only. This central part, along with that, the seeds are there. These seeds have to be separated. So that process is known as ginning. So first process is ginning. Ginning is done to separate the seeds from the cotton. Okay, that is first. Second. No, second process is that separation of fiber. What process it is known as? Okay. Great. That word is not communicated. I'll tell you by the point, by advice. Okay. Okay. Ginning, afterwards spinning. That is, spinning is that the thread to be, the fibers to be separated and spun in a spindle. That is what is spinning. First, separating the seeds and cotton, that is ginning, then spinning. Okay. Then you read that.
After the cotton has been picked either by machine or by hand, it is steamed. The seeds may be crushed to yield oil, the residue being used them for cattle food.
See this, when the seeds are separated, the seeds are sent to the mill to produce oil, cotton oil. That is not used for cooking purpose. That is for other purpose, that factory purpose, manufacturing purpose. And the extract which we get, that is given as a cattle feed. Along that is feed, after extracting that oil, whatever is that material, that is given as cattle feed. Then next process.
The cotton fiber itself is paid for transport to the manufacturing regions. The fibers are washed and then combed to form a rope-like mass of fibers known as silver.
Silver, no, sliver.
Silver.
So what happened? This one, after separating, after that spinning, that fiber thread is made, and that is called a sliver. So you have to remember, underline this word, sliver. Okay, this sliver is given or fed to the spindler and spun to make cotton yarn. So from the sliver, yarn is made. Understood? What are the process? Ginning, spinning, then we get the sliver, and the sliver is spun into yarn. Varieties.
Varieties of cotton short staple less than 2.2 centimeter, 24 millimeter, medium staple 2.2 to 2.8 centimeter, 26 mm, long staple above 2.8 centimeter, 27 mm.
Three varieties of cotton, staple cotton is there. One is short, second medium, and third long. Understood? Short is 2.2 centimeters long, medium 2.2 to 2.8 centimeter long. Long staple is the first one, about 2.8 centimeter. Okay, major producers.
Distribution Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, Telangana, Karnataka.
So major producer is Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. So these are the black soil area. Gujarat is major producer, followed by Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, then only that Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and all. So where this black soil is that is the regions where cotton is produced. Next, jute, you read.
Jute is a long, soft, shiny fiber that can be spun into or strong threads.
Underline what is that? It is a long, soft, shiny fiber. This can be used to spin 4 strong threads. Have you seen that jute thread?
Yes.
What is it called? Sutri. Have you seen Sutri? Then you might have seen that it is used for making sack. That उसको क्या बोलता है? Goli. Okay. Then other packaging materials. So that is what a jute.
Both the fiber and the plant from which it comes are commonly called jute.
So that the material also called as jute and the plant also called as jute.
Jute is known as the golden fiber because of its color and value as a foreign exchange earner, provides a huge revenue to the government.
This is very important. Which fiber is known as golden fiber? Jute. And why? Because of its color and value as a foreign exchange earner. Okay. This way question can come. So 2 parts can. So 1 mark for identifying that one fiber and 1 mark for 26.
While jute accounts 75% of total area under jute in India.
The first type of jute is white jute. Underline your mark it. What is that? It accounts for 75% of total area under jute. It is hardy, highly adaptable, and grow well in both lowland and upland. So what type of material it is that? Hardy, highly adaptable, and grow well in lowland and upland. Okay, the first variety you understood? Second.
The Tosa jute is grown only on the upland as it is averse to flooding and occupies 25% of total jute area of the country.
So second variety is Tosa jute. It is growing in 25% of the total jute cultivating area. It is growing only in upland area because it cannot withstand a flood. Lowland area flood, there is possibility of flood. So it cannot withstand. That is why it is growing in upland area. Next.
It is used for manufacturing rough quality cloth, sacks, and other packing material. It is now used in making of many utility products like carpets, rugs, wine, upholstery, tarpaulins, etc.
So what are the uses? What are the materials produced? Manufacturing of rough quality cloth sacks, other packing materials, then utility products like a carpet, rugs, twine. Twine is what we have already told. That is thread, sutri. Okay. Upholstery, that other materials which are made out of it. Tarpaulin, have you heard about tarpaulin? Tarpaulin is that during the rainy season and all that you covering with a sheet.
Black color sheet.
Black color sheet. Or sometimes blue color also. That is what a tarpaulin. Okay.
Next is the inferior substitute.
Mark all this thing, uses of it or what are the things produced out of it.
Next is the inferior substitute of jute. The fiber is more coarse and is not strong as jute fiber. Bags for rough use are made from musk.
See, Basta is an inferior quality. It is a substitute only. See, I'll tell you that background of it. See, when Bangladesh was part of India, That time Dhaka was the major jute producing area. And Hooghly Basin, that is in present day West Bengal. So the most of the industries were. When we lost that Dhaka to Bangladesh, the jute producing areas are now not in India. So industries are there. So in order to support that industries, in order to feed that industries, we were in need of material. So that purpose, an inferior quality jute has been produced in a very fast. That is called a myth. Understood? So white jute is there, then dosa, and third one is this. Okay.
Climatic conditions. Temperature. The temperature should be 24 to 55 degrees Celsius. Have an average of 25 degrees, 27 during the period of growth, hot and humid climate. Rainfall 150 to 200 centimeters.
So good rainfall, hot and humid climate is required. Temperature also 24 to 35 degrees Celsius, and minimum or an average of 37 is must for the growth of jute. Rainfall also equal, that is 150 to 200 centimeters.
Soil requirements. Light sandy or clay loams and new agriculture.
Okay. New alluvium, what is new alluvium? Khatar. Khatars.
Methods of cultivation. The fields for growing jute have to be thoroughly prepared before the crop is sown in February on lowlands and March June on uplands. Sowing of these seeds is done by drilling or broadcast.
So lowland region, it is done in February. The field become ready by February, and upland region March to June. And the sowing is done by both drilling method or broadcasting method.
Harvesting and processing. The crop is harvested from July to September. After harvesting, the plants are bundled and put into ponds for retting.
This process very important. Underline that retting process. What is retting process? The whole plant is removed and soaked in ponds. That is bundled and soaked in ponds. Okay. Or water which is blocked. Otherwise, the running water means it will be carried down. So it will be soaked in that kind of ponds for 20 days. Why it is soaked? So in order to peel off that outer covering of the stem, then only inside only that thread will be there. So in order to separate the thread, it has to be put soaked in water. So that process is called a retting. So retting is the process by which the jute plant is soaked in water for separating the fiber. Okay.
After 20 to 25 days, when the bark is peeled off from the plant by hand and fibers then removed from the pit.
From the bark is peeled off from the plant, and then the fiber is separated.
Then after washing and drying, it is pressed into bales and transported to mills.
So after that it will be washed and dried, then pressed. So means it will be bundled in a process, in a way before sending into the mill. That is what is pressed into, because it is a thread which is separated from the plant is very directly. So it has to be processed in such a way so that it can be sent to the mills. Otherwise, that big weights, that way it cannot. So that process that is sort of pressed into the base. It is in order they used to bundle it in a peculiar way and loaded into.
The jute is harvested by hand and cooling of the stick.
Hmm.
It is dried and stripped of unwanted leaves and is put into water and allowed to rot. This process known as retting was one of the by submerging the jute into ponds and streams, but is now done in special tanks.
So that wetting process definition is that the process of separating that thread or fiber from the plant is known as retting. It is by soaking in water and removing that after rotting the plant, removing that fiber. Okay, which are the areas?
Distribution West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha, Tirupura,
Tripura, Terai region of Uttar Pradesh. So most important producer is West Bengal and nearby states like Bihar and Assam. These regions are the major producers. Got it clear? So cotton and jute is over. Now we are moving to tea.
Tea, it is a beverage crop and a plantation crop.
So I have told you beverage crop. What is the meaning of beverage? You separate drink. Beverage is a drink. So hot beverages, cold beverages, or like that it is there. So tea and coffee are the most important beverage crops. And there is one more is the cocoa. Have you heard of the cocoa? Chocolate. Okay, great.
Climatic conditions, temperature 24 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, but 25 degrees Celsius is most suitable. Rainfall 150 centimeter to 375 centimeter.
This one is very important. There is any other crop we studied about this much rainfall. So tea require minimum 150 to maximum 375 centimeters of rainfall. And temperature 24 to 30 and the most suitable is 25 degrees Celsius.
Soil requirements well drained, deep flowable loams or forest land rich in organic matter.
So mostly in that forest land, rich in organic matter will be good for the cultivation of tea.
Forest soil rich in humus and iron. Methods of cultivation, tea is cultivated in two ways, from seeds and from cutting. From seed, tea plants can be raised from tea seeds. Seeds are sown in well-prepared nurseries. The saplings are transplanted in proposed tea gardens at a distance of 1 meter on all four sides.
See, two methods are. One is that the seeds are sown in nurseries and then transplanted. So while transplanting, it will be lined in rows. It is grown. So that way, at an equal distance, this tea plants are being planted. So before that, the seeds are sown in nurseries or grown in nurseries and then transplanted. That is the first. Next method.
From cuttings, tea shrubs can also be grown in nurseries from cuttings. This is known as the clonal planting method of propagation of tea. The saplings are transplanted in a tea garden.
This is another way in which you might have heard about cloning or budding. Budding. So that is what the best quality is added to the original. So then the budded plant will show that the mother plant's quality as well as that whatever the cloned plant quality. So that way, a cloning is done, a bud is added with that, and such kind of nurseries are made so that better production will. Understood? So this method is not a clonal, known as clonal planting method. And it is planted in nurseries and from the it is transplanted to the rhizomes. Understood pronal method? Budding. That is normal, the C is budding. So two plants qualities are there. One may be high yielding or high quality, and the mother plant it is attached.
Harvesting and processing. Pruning of the bush starts after 2 years in order to maintain the height and the diameter of the plant.
See, one thing, when the plant started growing, after 2 years, that the top part or the leaves have to be cut. That means it is called a pruning in order to level it. The tea plant should not be allowed to grow into a tree, a small standard tree, bushy plant. Then only the leaves can be planted. So that is why in order to level it and to grow in equal height and diameter, this pruning used to be done. Understood? You may have seen in the gardens, the plants are shaped and some designs are made. Here no design is made. So equal diameter it has to be grown. So that is why pruning is done. Then
Plucking of the leaves. In India, picking is the most is much more frequent. The tea is picked every 10 days during the growing season and lower elevations.
So what is that? It is a craft. It is a kind of work which require a lot of patience and skill. What is that? The tender leaves are to be plucked. You may have seen in movies or like that. The women used to carry that bags behind the back, and it is tied attached to the handle. That way, both the hands they used to pluck. So two leaves with the bud. That way they have to pluck the tender leaves. After every 10 days, they used to the whole season, maybe 6 months or like that, every 10 days to 15 days, they used to plant the leaves. If the leaves grow more than that, it is of roots. So that is why it requires a lot of skill and patience. Understood? That is why men are not engaged in this picking. Women used to be considered as having patience. So that is why they need a lot of skill as well as. Okay.
Tea is picked every 15 days during the growing season and latitude. Picking goes on from early April to mid-November.
April to mid-November. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So almost 8 months they are doing this.
It is a skillful job usually done by women. It requires patience and judgment.
Judgment. What is that? Which one is the proper one? They have to carefully judge it and then.
Two tender leaves and bud or shoot fine fine plucking are usually plucked from each stem.
Understood all this thing? Now,
Processing. There are 4 types of tea, each is processed differently. Black tea, green tea, oolong tea, brick tea. Processing of black tea, withering. The gathered leaves are first withered or dried in the sun for a day or two to extract moisture.
so the processing is very important. The tea leaves are plucked and the whole processing will be done in the plantation itself. It cannot be taken to faraway place. The aroma of this one will go. So it has to be done within that plantation itself. So what is that? The first process is withering. That is the tender leaves are gathered to get the sunlight to release that moist. That is what a withering process. The first process is withering.
Rolling. This twists the left to break its cells, exposing the juice to the air for fermentation, which helps to give tea its special flavor.
So tea special flavor will be there. That is rolling. Rolling is the twisting of that tea. So this special twisting relieves that one. What is that? It break that cell, exposing the juice to the air. So this give a special flavor to the tea. Do you like tea? You? No. So when people can understand, that is that tea flavor. If that one is changed, we can understand it's not good tea. Means that particular aroma should come, or that special flavor should come. That is why rolling is done. Next.
Fermentation. The leaves are allowed to ferment and this reduces the amount of tannic acid in the tea by half but does not impair its flavor.
So it is a process of fermentation. It is one thing. See, the tea garden itself, they used to give smoke or something to, you know that fermentation is done for that idli, dosha and all. No? That is previous night we are this so the same way, a small type of smoke is given to make it brittle. So that process is called a fermentation. So it is reducing the amount of tannic acid, but not impair the flavor. So it all require high expertise. We don't know that how it is done. So if those who are having lot of skill and expertise only can. That is why if it is little more work is done, that the fermentation is done, then the flavor may go.
Drying. Leaves are placed on conveyor belts in an oven to dry them and give them black color by roasting and drying the leaves.
So it's a process of putting the tea leaves in a conveyor belt that the trays, and the tray pass through that conveyor belt. By that time, they are getting a certain amount of temperature. And on that process, it get that green leaves get the color of black. So that is on passing that conveyor belt itself, all these processes are. So that is why, in order to get that black color, this is that.
Blending. Experts, blenders, and tea tasters further blend the various grades of tea to give it special aroma and make many
Proprietary
brands.
So that is what after all these processes, these all things are in making black tea. So the last process is blending process. As the word indicates, it is a process of blending various varieties of tea together to make that special aroma and the branding. We know that different brands are available. So when we are going to the market, we will get Red Label, we get Society, we get other, these are all companies' fees. But when you originally go to that place, you can get a powder tea, little bigger size tea. So like that, because it is all made from that tea leaves. The cutting process is there. So according to that, the branding and blending of tea.
In the preparation of green tea, they picked leaves are heated immediately by roasting them over red hot pans and are later rolled.
So green tea. Have you seen green tea? So it is like that. It is not gone through all these processes, withering process or drying or rolling or fermentation. No. Directly after plucking, what it is done, heated immediately by roasting on iron pan, hot iron pans, and then rolling is. Then
Then the leaves are dried and graded and packed.
so we can get so many labels of that green tea. So that is what happening after drying that leaves. This is labeled and
Processing of oolong tea. It is prepared by partially drying and fermenting the leaves.
so partially dry and then ferment. So on the basis of this processes only the leaves are tea leaves are getting different names.
Processing of brick tea, the leaves and the stems and the tea dust are compressed into rectangular blocks.
So that directly the leaves and the stems and the tea dust are compressed into rectangular blocks, make a brick. Okay, which are the major?
Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala.
These are the major producers of tea. Coffee.
Introduced by Muslim Fakir Baba Buddha and introduced in Baba Buddha hills in 17th century from Arabia.
So who introduced it? Muslim Fakir Baba Buddha, and he planted it on the Buddha hills. That is why it came to be known as Buddha hills. That is because he only introduced it. Then it was brought from which country? Arabia.
Coffee is a leading tropical commodity in international trade and is the most abundantly produced of the non-alcoholic beverages.
See, we know that alcoholic beverages give sedation to the people. So here, non-alcoholic beverage which give that sedation means the people. Some of the people used to after having a coffee feel so much. There some people used to drink the coffee in the night and then sit on while learning, while doing the work again. So that is it.
Varieties: coffee robusta, coffee liberica, coffee arabica.
These are the three varieties. Coffee robusta, coffee liberica, and coffee arabica. We have learned that it was introduced into India by a Muslim fakir, Baba Buddha, and he planted it in the Buddha hills. Okay, and it was brought from Arabia. Then it is a tropical crop and a major non-alcoholic beverage. And the three varieties are coffee robusta, coffee liberica, and coffee arabica. Continue.
Climatic condition: temperature 15 to 28 degrees Celsius. Rainfall 150 to 200, well distributed throughout the year.
So it is not like the tea plant. It's not a very small bushy plant. It is a half tree type. That means the height also they used to maintain because the cherries which are growing. So it should have that capacity to hold. So that is why it requires certain temperature and certain rainfall. That is 50 to 28 degrees Celsius and 150 to 200 centimeters of annual rainfall.
Soil requirements: well drained, pliable, loamy soil, rich in vegetable mold. Methods of cultivation: coffee is propagated from seeds or cuttings in a nursery and after a few months, the saplings are transplanted to the field.
See, the propagation method, that means coffee seeds are propagated in the nursery and allowed to grow into a plant and then transplanted to the seed. Or second method is the cuttings of that. We have learned that in the earlier method also, grafting method or what is the cloning method. The same way that plant cuttings are also used for the plantation of coffee.
Plants are positioned 3 meters apart.
I have told you, it is not a small bushy plant. It is growing into a tree. So that is why 3 meters apart the plants are planted. 3 meters means that much distance is required for the another plant to grow.
They are pruned annually to ease picking and to ensure heavy bearing of coffee berries.
So the top part needs to be pruned in order to prevent that tree from growing higher. And at the same time, the berries to be, that is coffee berries to be grown in a proper.
The tree is kept to a height of 1.5 to 2.5.
That much height only it will be kept.
Harvesting and processing. Harvesting of coffee is usually done in the fourth or fifth year after the plantation. Coffee picking is done by hand by removing the ripe berries from the stalk.
So that the ripe berries are plucked from that plant. That is the way the coffee is harvested.
Processing. There are two methods for processing of coffee. The wet method or parchment method. This method is used for parchment of coffee, which consists of removal of the skin, pulping, fermenting, washing, and drying.
So underline wet method is that the parchment of the coffee, which consists of removal of the skin, pulping, that is extraction of that pulp, then fermenting, washing, and drying. Because inside that only that seed will be. That seed only used for making the product, coffee powder. So that is the whole process wetting. That is the pulping and also breaking and then taking that. Okay.
Nowadays, there are mechanized processes of coffee estates. Dry method or native method. The covering is removed by drying in the sun. Seeds are pounded to remove the outer covering. The color, flavor, and taste of coffee are the result of roasting.
So what is done? This is the native method. That is we have done that.
In India, it is
Ah.
called
This method we have done. What is that? From the tree after plucking it, it is allowed to dry. After drying, that the outer shell after covering will be removed and seeds are powdered. That is what powdering is done after roasting. That means directly after drying, if we are making the powder, flavor will not come. Roasting at the right measurement, right temperature. From that itself, we will get that aroma. So after that, it is grinded. So when the seeds are dried up, the cherries are after plucking the cherries, it will be dry in the whole sun. Then, in order to remove the shell, they are grinding. Grinding means that with an iron rod, they used to beat on it so that the shell will go. Then again, this one is taken and roasted and cooked. This is the mother piece. That is what the dry method.
distribution, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil.
Mostly that dry junction. That is the place where that tea is also produced. Dry junction of Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Main green hills. So the same way, Karnataka and Kerala are the major producers, and the third one is here we end, there will be 2-3 minutes are left to be able to see that. No? Understood, no? So, are you writing that homework? Last week also something we have given homework. You don't. I have forwarded to mark this one and write. Every time I am giving, not seriously. Okay. Now, both the lessons, 2-3 questions with mark. Otherwise, you just can't find it. The board, previous year board question. 2-3 questions you would just see. West Bengal is the leading producer of fruit. Give this. Okay. With reference to tea cultivation, explain the term fine plug. What is fine plug? 2 leaves and a bud. Why is cotton grown as a heavy crop in India? With reference to the cultivation of tea, answer the following. Why is tea grown on hill slopes? Why tea bushes have to be pruned at a regular intervals? Then, what is gaining? What is meant by wetting? What kind of soil is required for the cultivation of tea? Why is pruning necessary? Pruning already you have written. Then study the picture. Which crop is this? Cotton. The climatic conditions required for the cultivation of this crop. To be 13.
21 to 50 degrees Celsius.
Then another. What is the name the stage? Gujarat. In which cropping season is this crop grown in India? Kharif. Okay.
No, ma'am, it's asking season.
Cropping season.
Very what is season?
Agricultural season we are taking. Understood.
Winter, summer.
No, cropping season. Cropping season. Don't try to tell it as good. Good already you asked. Give a geographical result for each of the following. Cotton is a labor intensive crop. Jute is ripened after it has been harvested. The growing of pulses is involved in the area. That is second essence.
This one should be right. Not ending.
Yes. That was really empty. Okay. Empty, no? Now you will just next week only we will be having those. This lesson to be taken if you have any choice either. Transport or because so many lessons are paid.
Yes.
Conventional, non-conventional, major this thing, industries, manufacturing industries. So which one? Transport will do? Or if you have any choice, you can.
Transport.
Because in that lesson is very easy also and you can. Okay, bye bye. Nishda.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Yeah.